Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I'm Cipher, and this is the Devil's Advocate Debate Club. Hope you don't mind taking a little bit of a drive with me. So, I at first wasn't going to do any sort of a video on the Covington Catholic kids because there's not really a way at this point to do a video without taking a side. However, I decided it was important enough to take a stand, so I did a video, at which time I was far too angry to be even mildly coherent on the matter, so I'm going to try again. The Covington Catholic kids were attending a pro-life rally, which their school attends every year. Whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, it's a private school, and so it's really their choice to attend rallies in this manner. Well, at the end of the day, when they were waiting for the bus, a group of extremists approached them and started shouting racially motivated bigotry at them, as well as homophobic slurs. And so the kids asked their chaperone if they could sing their school chant to drown out the racism. At this point, as they were singing their chant, a Native American man approached beating a drum. When I first saw the video, the headline said that this was a Native American rally, and I thought that that's what the kids were there for their field trip, not a pro-life rally. And so I just thought the kids were having fun with this Native American man. However, as the facts came out, and as I paid more attention to the story, it became clear that this Native American man, or at least the man with him, was there to stand in solidarity with the hateful bigots that the high school students were attempting to shout out. So, he approaches their group. There's a 2-hour-long video. I've watched it. I've watched many clips. And I eventually just went to the source, spent 2 hours of my life, and watched the video itself. He approaches their group, banging his drum, walks right up to the smirking kid, as he's becoming known, and starts banging the drum directly in his face, which, just so you guys are aware, in Washington, D.C., where they are, it fits the term of simple assault. He essentially assaulted a minor by the laws of where this happened, and the kid stands his ground, refuses to move, and smiles, does nothing wrong. Now, there are some videos surfacing showing that some kids who may have gone to his school said some things that are massively inappropriate. And those kids should be reprimanded, but we should not be reprimanding groups for things that only some members of the groups have done. Mob justice simply isn't fair. And most of these kids, as far as I can tell from watching every piece of documentation I can find, did nothing wrong. Now, there are celebrities calling for them to be put through wood chippers. A writer for Disney actually made a cartoon of them being put through wood chippers, which, in my humble opinion, is just disgusting. And I mean, people are calling for their information to find out where they are so that they can hunt them down, presumably. One woman, a Saturday Night Live writer, I'm sure a lot of you have heard, offered oral sex to anyone who punched one of them in the face. And hey, she's cute, and who can say that they haven't had a thought or two of doing something bad just for the reward, huh? But that's coming from the devil, and we shouldn't be attacking these children. I have to say that if you want to, go after someone for wearing a Make America Great Again hat, I don't agree with you. But I mean, if you feel that your values are worth committing an assault and going to prison over, then pick an adult. Pick anyone but these kids. And if you want to attack children, just stop and take a long look at your morals, because calling for mob justice, for violence, for these kids to be locked in their school and for it to be burned down because a kid stood still and smiled is psychotic, it's mentally ill, and anyone who was a part of it needs help. I would rather you come for me than these children. They've done nothing wrong. And yeah, children might be a little hyperbolic, as people like to point out, but they're kids. They're high school students who tried to drone out some racism and dared to wear MAGA hats and smile and have a good time. George Orwell wrote about the concept of face crime. And it's terrifying to me that we're now living in a world where face crime is becoming a thing. Where having the wrong expression at the wrong time is something that people are calling for action against, calling for justice because of. And it's wrong. It's wrong to do it to anyone, but it's especially wrong to do it to minors, to kids who are, as far as I can tell, completely innocent. I'm bringing this up because I think it's important for people to make a stand when something is clearly unjust. I'm also bringing it up because while I am willing to debate this subject on my channel, I will be taking the side of the Covington Catholic kids. And if you want to argue against me, you're free to do so. I will argue literally any topic on this channel, and most topics I'll argue either side, even arguing against my own morals. In this case, I simply cannot do so, however. Anyway, and the reason is because it could lead to violence against children, and I just can't stand by that. Well, this has gone on longer than I would have liked it to, but it's still shorter and much more coherent than the last video I did on the subject. I do hope that you can all put up with me taking sides on one event. This should not indicate my political views to you in any way. I've never worn a MAGA hat in my life. I just don't think smiling in one is a crime. Anyway, I'm Lewis Cipher. Thanks for watching the Devil's Advocates Debate Club. We have our first debate coming up here shortly. It's going to be on whether or not a utopia is achievable or, in fact, desirable. I let my opponents go first. Rational Wrong Think has the video in the works, so we should have that along soon. You humans need to be reminded to like and subscribe, so come on, just like and subscribe. More importantly, though, leave a comment below, and find me on Twitter at Devil Debate, Gab at Devil's Advocate Debate Club, or email me at devilsadvocatedebateclub@gmail.com.